So hello and good morning. My name is Mark Ellis. I'm the Managing Director of UK Circuits and Electronic Solutions Limited. Our mission statement is we exist to make the world of electronics work and our customers' lives easier. Just to give you a bit of background on myself, I joined UK Circuits in 1997 as a young 16-year-old apprentice, working my way up through various divisions in the factory, from production, engineering, operations, commercial, business management. I became managing director back in 2019, and since then we have grown revenue from 4.6 to 9.5. In terms of some of the contents I will cover today, we've got markets and clients, products, quality control accreditations, case study and strategy and outlook. So UK Circuits, we was founded in 1997. We have just over 28 years of experience. Was incorporated the group into 2021. We are a Manchester-based specialist in PCB assembly. We've got a 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility, and we are the manufacturing division for the group. We offer a broad spectrum of assemblies, complete product manufacture through to various assembly stages, from surface mounts through whole assembly, box assembly and final test and packaging. I'm going to play you now our company video.
Over the years, technology has become hugely advanced, from entire computing rooms to portable, compact devices and smart technologies. But what powers electronics? Who manufactures them? And who is responsible for their maintenance? UK Circuits is a subsidiary of Light Science Technology Holdings, operating in the contract electronics manufacturing industry, specialising in high-quality PCB and electronic manufacturing. From inception in 1997 with 6 employees, servicing 3 clients, UK Circuits is now a leading player in the industry with over 27 years experience, a 20,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility and over 100 clients. Our key industry sectors are pest control, sports entertainment, audio, robotics and lighting, supporting clients across the UK and globally. Our procurement team partners with an extensive global supply chain, ensuring continuity of components that are fully traceable and sustainable, allowing us to focus on providing robust pricing strategies to meet the commercial expectations of our clients. Once your materials have been sourced, we provide a full PCB manufacturing service, including surface mount and through-hole assembly, using world-class technology and equipment. Products are then tested and inspected to ensure they are of the highest quality as well as meet compliance standards. And as part of our robust quality systems and procedures, we also provide technical support throughout every stage of your project. UK Circuits have been widely recognised for their exceptional work, reflected in the words of one of our valued clients. The level of professionalism and teamwork exhibited by UK Circuits has been nothing short of impressive. Your team's ability to navigate the complexities and ensure timely delivery reflects a commendable work ethic and high standards of service. This is a testament to the expertise within your team, and I believe this deserves full recognition. UK Circuits continues to maintain and enhance its outstanding reputation, offering an end-to-end, full turnkey solution, all under one roof.
Hopefully the video gives you a bit more insight into UK Circuits and what we offer. In terms of some of the highlights I will cover, we've currently got 44 employees with an average service of 8 years, so it shows good retention of staff. We have in-house manufacturing for the group. We have a diverse spread of markets we work in. We've increased revenue by 29% since IPO. In more recent years, we've seen a lot of onshoring UK manufacturing coming back to the UK. We have a very loyal client base with high repeat order ratios, and we are an accredited provider to many of our clients. In terms of outsourcing, we work with numerous OEMs who they focus on the core competence, so they do outsource their PCB assemblies to UK Circuits. In terms of reshoring, as mentioned earlier, in more recent years, we have seen some positive steps with stuff coming back from the Far East to the UK, both in terms of new clientele and existing customers. Main reasons are we can offer faster lead times, is obviously not the shipping costs, because as we know, shipping costs have increased in recent years. So we have seen a big shift on onshoring in recent years. There's obviously the global semiconductor shortage issues we've seen in the pandemic, and obviously currently we've got the Chinese and the Taiwan tensions. So in particular in the pandemic, we saw issues with supply chain components going out to sort of 52 weeks plus. From a technical perspective, we was offering lots of solutions to our customers in terms of alternative products, which we got approved. So rather than going back to their design consultants, we assisted with alternative solutions to products. So there wasn't inline stop situations. Obviously, as we know, we're seeing an increased use of electronics and electronic cars, consumer electronics. As we know, most applications now have some form of electronics, if it's your iWatches, mobile phones, etc. Miniaturizations of wearables. We're also seeing an increase in healthcare market post-COVID. That's a particular big target market for UK circuits is healthcare. In more recent years, we've actually divulged into a couple of customers where we're having good regional purchase orders from them. I'll touch base on that in some later slides. So we have our own in-house manufacturing, so selling a range of products, including CEA, which obviously we are the manufacturing arm for the group, which de-risks the group itself. In terms of the market size, as Simon mentioned earlier, it's currently about 22 billion. As you see along the bottom, some of the particular sectors which have seen significant growth. As mentioned earlier, healthcare is one of the sectors we want to get involved with. Most of sort of IoT and telecoms is predominantly done by OEMs, but as mentioned earlier, we are seeing some customers coming back to us in terms of OEM products. In terms of some of the markets we work in, this is to name a few. We do pest control, automotive, sports entertainment, lighting, medical, building control, gas safety and audio. We've got some long established customers. Just to name a few, we've got Cloud Electronics, which is an audio-based market. They've been with us just over 18 years. Viking Electronics, they make the black cab taximeters. They've been the partner for over 15 years. Rentokil just over 13. And in more recent years, we've got Putshack, which is 1 year, which is a sports entertainment market. We've also got Flamefast and Titan, very similar products. They've been with us just over 5 years. In terms of some of the products we manufacture, the first illustration is the PCBs are along the top, the finished products along the bottom. The first one is a CentiGrow product, which we make for our group. The next unit is the Putshack, which is the indoor crazy golf ball. Last year we produced just over 20,000 units. We expect to do some similar levels this year, if not more. The next image is one of the Rentokil products. We make 3 live active products for them. Last year we built just over 250,000 products, so that really is high volume. And the last image is a Cloudboard, which is an audio product. They're in the region of about 50 different SKUs, part numbers. Last year we manufactured just over 22,000. In terms of pre-production processes, as part of the group structure, we now offer design consultancies. So we can take it from a very early concept. Once we've got the concept derived, we would do what we call a circuit diagram or a schematic. From a schematic, you would create a PCB layout, which is the image in the top right. From that image, you would create a 3D render drawing, which is at the bottom. All of these would either be the customer's IP or would be UK Circuits IP, and these would be used in production once it goes to pre-production prototypes. In terms of material management, we use an MRP system, so every item we purchase, in some instances, customers will free issue as its own unique part number. We have full lot traceability in the MRP system back to source, which is the supplier it was purchased from. We currently have just over 7,000 SKUs, which cover 21 categories, and we do annual stock takes at year end, and last year this delivered a 0.06% variance. So it shows we've got good control of stock management. In terms of stock management, in terms of counting, we have what we call a surface mount X-ray machine. This is where we'll count each individual component. Roughly takes about 10 seconds to count, and it's 99.9% accurate. And it does work with the MRP system in terms of updating live inventory figures. In terms of the integrated MRP system we have, it enables cash flow planning by just-in-time materials. So what we generally do when we get a new customer order, the first stage is generally booking a production slot based on the lead time. Then the materials will be in line with that. So we make sure we've always got materials on site, maybe a week before production is due to commence, and that does reduce cash flow In terms of our current hit rate, at the moment we're working at sort of 62%, which is great in our industry based on some research we've done. Our manufacturing lead time from receipt of customer orders to dispatch is currently 4 to 6 weeks. We do offer what we call a fast track service, or when a customer has new product innovation or low production runs, we can offer lead times from 1 to 2 weeks. So we're not rigid, we're fairly flexible in terms of the services we offer. We generally work with our customers in terms of what deadlines they need to work to. We also do what we call a bill of materials health check. So this is where we're looking at each unique particular item on the bill of materials in terms of life cycle, risks, obsolescence, price variances. We do get a trigger back from the application we use, and then we'll look at alternative sources. If it is a problematic part and it's what they call a last time buy, we'll give that information to the customer and they will generally place a last time buy based on that information. All our components are sourced from 36 approved franchise distributors who are generally dealing directly with the manufacturers. In more recent years, due to the pandemic, we have had to source from the grey market or the open market. Now, we only do that under what we call client concession. So this could be an obsolescence part or something what carries a very long lead time. There may be some excess stock in the marketplace, so we would purchase that under a client's concession. Last year, we purchased just over 30 million components, and our average number of components per BOM is currently at 55. This is some modules at the bottom from our MRP system. So we have dashboard for live updates in terms of late customer orders, late purchase orders from vendors. The CRM is a customer order module. We've obviously got production planning, my production plan, stock is inventory, procurement and accounting. So it really does handle an inquiry from coming in from the customer all the way through the manufacturing process. In terms of our production processes, we have many production processes. Generally, the first stage is what we call surface mount technology, which is generally abbreviated to SMT. We've got 3 surface mount lines at the moment, which are all configured with conveyors, solid paste printers, inline reflow soldering. 2 lines are predominantly set up for sort of mid to high volume, and we have what we call an MPI line for low production quantities. Any new prototypes going through the facility, that's where we can offer this flexibility in terms of the 1 to 2 week lead time. As you can see from the illustration on the left, we've got some examples of some of the machines we have. So this is our second line. We've got line 1, line 3 further back. In terms of some of the components, we placed just over 30 million components last year. From a sort of capacity perspective, we could probably place in the region of sort of 40 to 50 million components based on a good yield. If you're doing particular high volume runs, you will see that increase. In terms of some of the components we now place, as you can see from the first image, these really are minute components. To put it into perspective, these are what we call an O201 package. The case size is 0.6 by 0.3. So you just couldn't place that by the human hand. That would have to be an automated process. As you can see, components are gradually getting smaller as technology moves on, so it has to be an automated process. Second image is what they call a ball grid array. So this is a semiconductor which has multiple applications, and very similar with the third image. That's a very similar parts, but as you can see, these really are micro miniature components, and these are typically used in sort of wearables and smartphones. In terms of what we call the through-hole assembly, also abbreviated as PTH, we have 2 processes for this. We have a traditional hand soldering technique, which is the first image. The second image is what they call a wave soldering machine. So this basically takes the board from the input on a conveyor belt, gets it to a certain temperature, applying flux on the other side of the board, and it will hit a molten pot, which will leave a deposit of solid paste. So that's generally done for sort of high volume stuff, where the traditional hand soldering is lower volume, and it can be technology driven. Generally, the through-hole components are used for stronger mechanical bonds, such as solid state relays, terminal blocks, where we surface mount the technology is just not there to do that at this stage. In more recent years, one of the added services we offer is what we call the full turnkey solution, which is the box assembly. So that's taking all the PCBs at the various stages, pulling it together into a mechanical assembly, so sort of enclosures, final boxes. Everything we build is built from what we call a detailed manufacturing instruction. So part of the front end of any new product, we will create work instructions for every level, in particular box assembly, which obviously will go down to the operator. We've seen some good upturn in recent years with this service, Predominantly, it was just a PCB manufacturer, but in more recent years, there's been a lot of diversity from some of our clients where they want to move away from doing box assembly. They just want a full turnkey solution from a PCB manufacturer. In terms of quality assurance, quality is pretty much the forefront of our business. At every single manufacturing stage, we make sure there's a quality inspection process done. Typically at surface mount, it's what they call AOI, which is optical inspection. So this is looking at a golden board, which is a customer approved board, and then a production batch from there is cross-referenced to the major sample. This would affect any sort of misalignment of components, missing components, orientations. Predominantly this was done by the human eye many years ago. Due to technology changes and components getting smaller, this has to be done by some software. So that's the middle image. The third image is a high definition camera. This is predominantly used for solder paste analysis or solder joints analysis. It's got a 360-degree viewer on there, so you can get some really intricate angles, which again, you just can't see with the human eye. In terms of the first illustration, this is what they called an ATE equipment. So this is a renticle product. So you would plug the circuit board into the actual unit itself, clamp it down, press the lid. It would run a script on a PC. It would check in many signals, inputs, outputs, sensing levels, and then at the end of it, you get a pass or a fail rate. Every unit we typically do for the likes of the Renticles, the Clouds, are 100% functionally tested. They go into distribution warehouses to get shipped direct to their customers. So that really is what they call the full turnkey solution. In terms of internal and external NCRs, these are all recorded on the system and continuous improvement plans are put in place. We have management meetings every month to go through these and make sure action plans are in place. Any external NCRs are shared with the customers in terms of corrective actions. We have a very low defect rate, predominantly due to the amount of process control we have at each element of the production stage. Last year, this averaged out at 0.05%, which really is a good internal reject rate. In terms of accreditation, we hold ISO 9001, which is the quality management system. It's a framework that drives continuous improvement. It's a standard we've held for just over 25 years. In more recent years, we've also got ISO 14001, which is the environmental system. It's obviously a framework for minimising impact on the environment. It's a standard we achieved back in 2023. Both are audited annually by a UCAS accredited company, which is approachable certification. I'd like to add to that as well, in terms of all our production operators are IPC certified, so that's an industry recognised standard for assembly of electronic components. In terms of a case study we've done, this is the SensorGrow product, which obviously Craig and Simon touched based on before. So we are the manufacturing arm for Light Science Technologies. We've made all the units which are in the live trials at the moment. We've worked very closely with their engineering team, our engineering team, to obviously put the concept together in terms of some of the 3D rendered images you can see on the screen. These are sort of 2D CAD and schematic PCB layouts which are used in the manufacturing process as well. So this is a typical schematic with a PCB and a printed circuit board at the bottom. We generally use this information for pre-production prototypes. This will be used for creating what we call XY coordinates for the pick and place machines. So it'll give us an access in terms of where to place all the components on the PCBA. In terms of our sort of strategy and outlook for the next 12 months, it's building on our strong forward order book, which is going into 2026, which currently sits at 2.7 million. Continue this trend of improving material margins and labour efficiencies. That's obviously working and negotiating better with supply chain and also from a production perspective. Developing our OEM capabilities to build products for the group. So we touched base on the SensorGrow. We do build all the Tomtec control systems, and at the moment we are looking at early warning signs for the PFP division. In terms of target new markets, at the short term we're looking at medical. We'll probably need an accreditation to do that. We do work with some medical and healthcare customers at the moment whereby they do the finished product assembly, so we don't necessarily need accreditation, but we think by gaining that accreditation we'll get a preferred supplier as such, give us greater opportunities. There's some good gross profit margins to be made in that sector. And long term, once we've got the foundation or the framework in place for the medical, we think we should be in a position to target the defence market. In terms of the foundations to the new market, I've touched base on the accreditation, which is ISO 13485. In terms of the investment, we're looking at probably in the region of about £20,000 to £30,000 investment to get accreditation. Investing in new equipment, this is that technology moves forward. In terms of machinery at the moment, we've got more than capable to take on large contracts. But as we know, technology does move at such a rate or not, so it's just making sure we have got the investment available when new technology comes available. And finally, to consolidate final stages of MRP implementation into the standard process. So we've had MRP now for about 3 years. It's pretty much embedded into every department. There's just some final processes we need to do to complete that process. So in terms of summary, we've got strong, consistent and growing revenues. We work with a diverse range of markets. As I've touched base, we've got long-standing employee service of just over 8 years. What is interesting, in Plimsoll Best, the CM Trading Partner of this year, we've become 9 out of 125, which is the highest with just under 15 million. So fantastic achievement by all involved.